Now, live from Wavy News 10.
And we're interrupting your program right now for breaking news that we have been telling you about all day long. A gunman shot and killed 2 journalists during a morning newscast.
Yeah, let's go right to that news conference right now to find the latest.
Earlier this morning, I just want to make sure that through this we continue to keep our prayers and thoughts with the family of Alicia Parker and Aaron Wade. Aaron Ward. As well as the WDBJ Channel 7 News family. First and foremost, I'm at approximately 1:30 p.m. today. The suspect up from this incident, this shooting, died at Fairfax and Nova Hospital in Northern Virginia as a result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I want to express my condolences to WDBJ 7 TV for their loss this morning. We know this has been a very difficult situation to manage professionally and personally, and we sincerely appreciate their cooperation and assistance with the ongoing investigation and our search efforts. We are keeping Ms. Vicki Gardner with the Smith Mountain Lake Regional Chamber of Commerce in our thoughts and prayers as she continues to undergo treatment from injuries sustained in the shooting. I also want to thank the residents of Franklin and Bedford counties for their support and vigilance this morning as we conducted our search efforts and response in relations to this incident. The tips and information that came in from our local residents and across the Commonwealth have been extremely helpful over the course of the past 7 hours. The quick response to this investigation and resolution are due to the dedicated and quick efforts of our public safety partners with the Bedford County Sheriff's Office, the Virginia State Police, Roanoke City Police Department, Roanoke County Police Department, ATF, U.S. Marshal Service, the FBI, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, and the Rocky Mount Police Department. I can't begin to thank those agencies and their personnel enough for their efforts. At 6:43 a.m. today, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call concerning shots fired at Bridgewater Plaza near Smith Mountain Lake. A WDBJ TV news crew was conducting a live interview at the plaza with Ms. Gardner when Vester Lee Flanagan II, age 41, of Roanoke, suddenly appeared and approached them and started shooting. Allison Parker, age 24, and Adam Ward, age 27, died at the scene. Both Parker and Ward were residents of Roanoke, Virginia. Let us not forget, they grew up in this area. They were part of our community. We don't want to forget that. Ms. Gardner was transported to Korean Roanoke Memorial Hospital where she is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Flanagan then fled before deputies arrived on the scene. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office, with the assistance of the Virginia State Police, immediately began a search operation in the area to locate the shooting suspect. Shortly before 11, Roanoke City Police Department located Flanagan's 2009 Ford Mustang at the Roanoke Regional Airport. The Mustang has been recovered as evidence. Flanagan then left the airport in a Chevrolet Sonic that he had rented earlier in the month. During the course of the investigation, investigators were able to track the suspect as he traveled along Interstate 81, and we notified local and state law enforcement along the entire Interstate 81 corridor to assist us with a lookout for a suspect vehicle. As has been confirmed already, the Virginia State Police then located the Flanagan vehicle on Interstate 66 in Fauquier County and took him into custody. State Police will go into more detail about that shortly. We are still piecing together the timeline of events leading up to this morning's shooting. Flanagan was a former employee at WDBJ 7 and on air went by Bryce Williams. Flanagan sent a lengthy multi-page fax to a national news organization in New York about this incident, and our investigators now have a copy of it, and its use in the course of this investigation will be continuing. And that's where we are right now. We still have a lengthy investigation to conduct, and that's our focus as we move forward. I would like now to turn over the mic to Sergeant Rick Garlitz with the Virginia State Police.
Thank you, Sheriff. Shortly before 11:30 a.m. this morning, Virginia State Police Trooper Pam Neff was on patrol along Interstate 66. Her license plate reader, or LPR, alerted to a license plate on a Chevrolet Sonic traveling east on 66. She followed the vehicle a short distance as troopers responded to assist her before she activated her lights. Once that backup was there, she activated her emergency equipment and attempted to stop the vehicle. The driver of the Sonic, Vester Flanagan, also known as Bryce Williams, refused to stop and sped away from the trooper. It was only a minute or two later when the Sonic ran off the road into the median. When Trooper Neff approached the vehicle, she found Flanagan suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Flanagan was flown from the scene to Inova Fairfax Hospital, where he died at approximately 1:30 p.m. today. The Virginia State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation Salem Field Office and our Salem Bureau of Field Operations have been and will continue to assist the Franklin County Sheriff's Office with this investigation into the shooting. Sheriff.
Thank you very much, Sergeant. I will try to entertain some questions that you may have at this point in time. We'll take a couple questions. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, how did the suspect know where the victims were, and did it look like he'd been planning for some time?
That is a question that we are looking into. Did he know before this morning that they would be located at this remote location doing a broadcast? Did he see it aired this morning, as many people were watching? We're looking into that matter, trying to discover that.
Sheriff, why do you think the suspect did this? What was the motive for this shooting?
Not sure. We're looking into that. It's that he was a prior employee there. We're looking at all of those dimensions, what that may look like. But right now there's not been a motive as per se. Many of you have gotten a lot of the correspondence, emails that have been sent out. It's obvious that there was this gentleman was disturbed in some way of the way things had transpired. At some point in his life, it would appear things were spiraling out of control, but we're still looking into that.
Do you believe there was a racial component here, as has been reported?
I have no comment on that at this time.
Sheriff, did he say anything to authorities when he was arrested?
Repeat that.
Did he say anything to authorities when he was arrested?
I can't answer that at this time.
Can you tell us
You talked a
when
little
he
bit,
was...
Sheriff, about the facts that were sent to ABC News. What are your impressions of it so far? What you can share?
Well, what little bit of I've been able to review at this point in time, it certainly goes to show where the gentleman's mind was the night before, or what was taking place there, that there was some forethought given as to the chain of events that would happen.
And can you tell us about the license plate reader, how you guys were able to pick them up?
Sergeant, how instrumental were
I mean,
those
was
license
it
plate
technology,
readers?
or did somebody just eyeball it?
Technology picked it up. The license plate reader, once a license plate is entered into the system, that reader will be able to identify that license plate when it passes. It's not state specific, so the trooper has to do an investigation after the license plate is noticed to whether that's going to be the identity of the vehicle they're looking for.
In your view, how instrumental were the license plate readers in catching this suspect?
License plate readers are a great tool. The state police has several of them throughout the state, and it helped. Of course, I haven't talked to Trooper Neff, but it helped in this case to identify that vehicle.
How instrumental was the video that was aired live and that image of his face that was captured?
Ma'am, I'm not going to comment on that. I have not reviewed the video. I'll defer to the sheriff, but it's under investigation, so I'm not sure that.
Sir, did that give you guys a lead as to who this person was, or did you already have a suspicion?
We were able to, from the investigation, once we were on scene and secured the scene, we were able to develop Mr. Flanagan as a potential suspect, and we went from there.
Sheriff, the document that was sent to ABC News, they received that yesterday?
I'll have to confirm that. I'm not sure. I believe
You
there's
just said yesterday.
something that they had received it this morning.
Have you had an opportunity to speak to the general manager over at his former employer?
Stand to the podium, please.
Yes. What was the question again?
Have you had an opportunity to speak to the staff and the management at his former employer? And how, from your understanding, what terms did he leave that station?
I have no comment on that right now. I haven't divulged much into that information at this time.
Sheriff, how long had Mr. Flanagan been planning this?
Keep them off of their property or otherwise keep them away from there, like a trespassing order?
I'm not sure about the trespassing order, but I'm not sure exactly what steps they may have taken, if there was a need to at this time.
Sheriff, how long he was seen there prior to the live shot? When did he come into view?
We're still looking at all possible video. I'm not even really sure at this point in time if the individuals that were shot and killed even realized that he was there before the incident happened.
Can you confirm that?
Sheriff, do you have a personal message to anyone who's free-showing that video on Facebook, Twitter?
I'm sorry, what was it again?
Can you confirm that Flanagan posted the videos himself to the website?
I can't confirm that,
How
no.
long have you been planning this,
Can you
Sheriff?
tell us where the investigation goes from here? And is the residence of Williams being looked at right now by authorities?
Well, it's going to be a long investigation because there's a lot of components, certainly to this investigation, and we're still right in the beginning stages of it, so it's going to be quite a while.
What about his home or apartment?
Yes. That has been, officers have secured that area, and a search warrant will be executed there.
Sheriff, no one saw him. Would you characterize it as an ambush, perhaps?
Again, we're looking at video to see exactly how that
Was
transpired.
it premeditated, Sheriff?
Do you
Yes.
believe that he targeted these two individuals or just the station itself?
I can't confirm that. I could sit here and second guess or guess myself maybe what that would be.
Are you aware of any other threats to other employees at that station?
Not at this time.
How long might he
Okay.
be planning this one, Sheriff? What do you think?
Three more. We'll take three more questions.
Sheriff.
It's a small community. Just who knows Mr. Parker? Have you encountered him?
I did. It was, thank you. It was extremely difficult this morning. I'd actually did a remote with Miss Parker and Adam about 3 weeks ago when our schools opened up here. We did the same type of remote here in Rocky Mount.
So how did this news hit you as a person?
It has really stopped me in my tracks this morning. Like many viewers, I was watching this morning's broadcast and couldn't understand really what was happening myself at that time.
It's emotional for you, Sheriff.
Very emotional.
A lot of people these days might have assumed this was an act of terror or something. Because what difference would it make whether this was a person they knew versus someone they didn't?
Right. We're continuing to investigate as a criminal investigation, a homicide investigation at this time. Thank you all very, very much. And please, as we said before, continue to keep these families in your prayers.
Sheriff, thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've been listening to the press conference going on
Luciana, would you
about
like-
the incident this morning there in Roanoke. The sheriff for Franklin County speaking there, and also a representative with Virginia State Police. The biggest piece of information coming out of that at 1:30, the shooting suspect, Vester Flanagan, died from those self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Yeah, and actually we do have some more information we can tell you about him right now. His name, as we told you, is Vester Flanagan, but he went on air by the name of Bryce Williams. We have a picture of him, I believe, that we can show you right now. There he is. We are told that he worked there at the station for about a year, and he stopped working there about 2 years ago in 2013. And apparently there, as the general manager of that station put it, they severed ties. So there was a situation there where we know that he was not happy. And at another station where he worked previously in 2000 in Florida, he had filed a lawsuit against that station. So he's had a troubled past with employers.
Oh, that's right. So it has been a developing situation throughout the day. We are getting more information, though, working. We have crews in several different areas trying to get the very latest information on what has taken place here today. But again, at 1:30 p.m., right around that time, he passed away from the self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Okay. All right. We do also have some more information that's been coming in about the victims all day long. We know that Allison Parker, the reporter there on the scene, was just 24 years old. And we want to go back to this news conference now. We have someone else speaking.
And he's prepared to answer some questions from you as well.
Let me just begin by saying on behalf of the Regional Chamber of Commerce here at Smith Mountain Lake, we send our...
Okay, that was a hospital official that was speaking just for a moment. Again, we have the shooting suspect who passed away at a Fairfax hospital. We also have Vicki Gardner, who was shot in the back. She was the interviewee, and she's at the hospital right now.
We stand with her 100% and are praying for her and are thankful that she is in stable condition and is in good hands. Her family is with her, and her friends are with her, and we just want her to know, and this community to know, that as Vicki has been a champion for us for more than a decade, we're going to be a champion for her through this, and we're going to get together as a community and stay together and make it through this. So thank you very much.
Sir, could you spell your name, please?
Last name is Keaton, K-E-A-T-O-N. First name is Troy, T-R-O-Y.
Sorry, who are you with?
I'm the chairman of the board for the Regional Chamber of Commerce, and Vicki Gardner is our executive director here at the lake. Thank you.
Mr. Keaton there speaking about Vicki Gardner, the head of the Smith Mountain Lake Regional Chamber of Commerce. She was being interviewed this morning when the gunshots rang out about the 50th anniversary there at the plaza where this took place.
Yeah, let's get back just for a moment to those victims. The reporter Allison Parker and photographer Adam Ward, both were young people. Allison, 24, Adam, 27. Both were engaged to different people there at the station. Allison, was her boyfriend. She was not engaged, but her boyfriend had tweeted out earlier today, he's an anchor at the station, that they had hoped to get married. They had hoped to become engaged. They've been together for about 9 months. And Adam Ward was engaged to the morning producer there at the station, who was in the control room when this happened, so you can imagine her watching as this unfolded.
They have shown incredible strength today there. Everyone really, the staff and the general manager as well there at WDBJ. Again, we do have crews that are there in that area and really throughout the state working on this story to give you the very latest. 1:38, the suspect passing away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and this is coming after all of this began early this morning, about 6:45 this morning, when they were doing that interview there at the plaza in Roanoke. So it's a developing situation. We want you to stay here on the air and also online at wavy.com for the very latest. We'll come up and give you much more information on Wavy News 10 beginning at 4.